It's time to talk fantasy football. It's time to let them know. Where you let us crunch the numbers while you crush the competition. So grab your playbooks and crack a cold one, because here's your hosts, Teak and Baney.
Welcome back, guys, for week 2. Another episode of the podcast. An exciting week 1 for football for some.
Very.
Me on the other hand, besides watching the Falcons game, of course, with Badge, I couldn't watch anything. My TV wasn't working. I was in a big panic. I was texting Badge. I threw in the white towel for week 1. It was a disaster. Everything's ready to go on all cylinders, and I'm excited. So this is like my start of the season here for me to watch football. So all my picks are going to be replays on ESPN or social media, unfortunately. But let's get into why this unearned dish rag is around my neck, shall we, Badge?
Let's tell the boys.
So I'll let you go into that before I go into my little rant here.
So, as you guys remember from last week, Teak and I had a bet. He's a Falcons fan. I'm a Steelers fan. We're good friends. We had to do a little something friendly. We didn't want to throw money at it. So, we made a bet that if the Falcons win, which I knew they wouldn't, I had to wear his Falcon head. And if the Steelers won, Teak had to wrap a beautiful, luscious, soft, champion, terrible towel by Myron Cope around his neck the entire episode. So, as everyone knows, Pittsburgh got the dub with 6 field goals. It was looking, I had a bad vibes going in the first half and going into halftime, but then Teak made one big mistake. He grabbed the towel out of my hand and started to rub it on his tush. And I said, Teak, you don't want to disrespect the towel. There's a curse. The curse is real. Just ask the Titans, ask the Bengals, TJ Houshmandzadeh. You don't disrespect the towel. He did. The curse is real. So, Teak, you look great in black and gold.
So before we get into starts, this is going to be a PSA here. I'm tuning in. I'm tuning Badge out. I'm getting my rant out of the way. First of all, a win's a win. Congrats to the Steelers for literally doing the bare minimum to get this win. Now, this is why starters need to play in the preseason. Yes, I understand you're trying to limit injuries. I'm talking to you, Raheem Morris. But rather than working out the kinks in preseason, you get that. You get a team who doesn't touch the red zone and still gets a dub. Yes, we have one of the easiest schedules. And this should have been a win on the books. And I hate to say it, Arthur Smith is still making the same terrible play calls. We did not play, I think, and I think Badge can agree that Kirk Cousins just needs to take care of the football. And I think we win this game. Throwing to 3-4 triple coverage, both of those picks really decided the game. Arthur Smith did, I would say, his best thing, I think Badge can agree, was not throwing the ball downfield with Fields. He played to Fields' strengths, which was running the football and short checkdowns, little outside routes, some screen passes, and not making him stretch the field. I know he threw a couple downfield, a couple to Pickens, but besides that, you really didn't see much. And you don't turn over the football, and that's what happens. You can squeak out wins. But I just wanted to go over that real quick. I wanted to get that off my chest, Badge. I have pages on pages of writing about this game, and I don't want to take the whole time away from the starts.
Well, let it off your chest. I'm loving what's on your shoulders, buddy. So I'm going to do you a solid because your Sunday was so rough. Spin the towel 5 times. The bet's over. You can take it off.
5 times.
It's 5, 1, 2, 3, 4,
I
5.
thought you meant like 5 during the episode.
Nope, just little 5 good spins, and then you're done.
There, I'll even get you. So there's your episode.
Is that what I look like?
Yeah.
Spinning that thing? Dude, I do it with style, man.
Yeah, this
do
is
with
you.
style, then.
When your tight end catches it, though, you're like,
Oh, all right. Well, hey, thanks for being a good sport, Teak. The bet's over. Don't disrespect the towel. That's the best advice I can give out of this lesson. So on with the starts. Just don't disrespect it.
Oh.
There's a curse. It's not me. It's a curse.
I
You guys
guess.
can look it up. Look up the curse. Google.
But we're going to throw some injuries down on the bottom there for you guys to take a look at. There's some guys on IR, some day to day, some probably already marked out. But getting to the starts here, Badge. Why don't you lead us off here?
All right. Thank you. Yeah. Winners go first. I like it. Thank you for being a gentleman. So that's the last joke. So for my starts, I actually sat this guy last week. This week, I'm starting him. I'm going Justin Herbert at Carolina. So after watching week 1, I feel this is going to be a trend. Start whoever plays the Panthers defense. So it's not a trend yet. I'm saying it might be in the near future. So Derek Carr had his way with them. He put up 3 TDs, absolute blowout game. The yards weren't there, but 3 TDs, that's a win in fantasy. Herbert last week, again, he was on my sit list. He has a game under his belt. So I think big things this week are in store for this offense. Herbert's going to find his go-to guys. And also DFS, he's in the middle of the road. I did a lineup today at work. He's middle of the road. I think he's $7,300 on FanDuel. FanDuel, we're here. So, yeah, I love the matchup for Herbert this week in this offense. So I'm starting Herbert against Carolina.
I'm on the train with you here. I also has Herbert as a start. If Derek Carr can slice up this defense, so can Herbert. This Carolina team all around is just bad. Offense, defense, you name it. I believe Herbert will be a nice cheap option, like you said, in DFS lineups as well. So I like the start. I'm there with you on this one, which is crazy.
Let's forget about that Carolina bet. He thought I was crazy. He was right. I was going with the stats.
I mean, I do believe I read something. I don't know if it was on X or Facebook or something. They're saying that tickets to Carolina games are so cheap, a McDonald's meal is more expensive.
Yeah, I saw $1.50. Someone said. I don't know if that's true or not, but if I lived in Carolina,
$1.50? No way.
That's what I saw. That's someone posted that video $1.50. That could have been from last year, though.
It could have been, but this year it's looking the same.
Yeah. Inflation, it goes from $1.50 to $7.50.
Exactly. My sit here, I got believe it or not, a top dog here, Kyren Williams.
But you starting him? You said sit.
I said sit. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Start.
I'm all over the place. Still flustered about Sunday.
It's that towel, man.
It is. Get this away from me. 50 yards rushing and a TD last game with very minimal catches. I think he's a must start this week. Great matchup against the Cardinals that gave up 70 and a TD to James Cook. I like him as a DFS start as well. I think he's going to get more work in the pass game this week, especially with Puka being out. So this week you might see some more checkdowns, screens going his way. So I like Kyren Williams this week.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I'm a Kyren Williams shareholder. I mean, Puka out. Yeah, they got other guys that can step up, but he was in majority of the snaps. So I didn't even see Blake Corum. Did you? Everyone was all raving about it, worried about it.
Yeah, and it's early. It's early.
It is.
So I do believe that you're gonna hold on to Corum.
Definitely.
I have him on in a couple leagues. I'm not shying away from him just because of week 1. Everybody panics after week 1. And I know some people, I'm going to get some backlash, I know, at work and whatnot, but, well, why are you panicking about Mark Andrews? Well, Mark Andrews for years hasn't, lived up to what we thought he was going to be. So it's a little different situation here.
Yeah, absolutely. Hang on to Blake Corum, but that's good signs for fantasy owners seeing Kyron there early and often. So I love the start.
Well, who's your second guy here?
So my second guy is a running back as well. So I'm going running back James Conner in his home opener this week. So he had a solid game last week against Buffalo. So he had 19 fantasy points, 16 rush attempts, and a TD, as well as catching 3 out of 4 passes. So this week he faces off against a Rams defense who allowed the second most fantasy points to running backs in week 1. So I expect a big day on the ground. I'm calling a TD as well. Hopefully give us some more dump offs. We love those as fantasy owners. So starting Conner this week, DFS wise, love him. FanDuel, super cheap. He's $6,500 DFS. Great value here. Great matchup. I believe he can repeat or better than week 1. Starting Conner.
A hometown kid. I have nothing but nice things to say about Conner fantasy wise. It seems like a lot of people give him the whole, oh, well, he misses 4 games, but he's still a year, but he's still that guy. He's still putting up numbers. He's still week to week going to be that guy. And it's, can't argue with it.
Yeah, and this is the same situation as Kyron. Still hold on to Trey Benson for that reason. So I got shares of him as well. So stash these guys. That's huge, especially late in your playoff pushes. You never know. So don't panic and drop him.
And you said he's what on FanDuel?
He's $6,500 on FanDuel.
All right, and it looks like he's 6,400 on DraftKings. So it's a good deal no matter where you're going there. He's sitting right below Josh Jacobs this week. But my last guy here, I got a wide receiver rookie, Malik Neighbors, for my start here. I think Neighbors here gets his first touchdown of the season against Washington. Last week versus the Vikings, had 5 catches for 66 yards. I do believe they make it a point to get him the ball this week after watching those interviews as well. They tried to bait him. I don't know if you've seen those interviews. They tried to bait him to see if he complained about getting the ball more. He didn't.
They always do.
Yeah, he didn't fall into it. Unfortunately, like Mason did with the Niners. But so I do think later on this year as well, he'll be that target magnet. But I think this week is like the turning point for that with a good matchup.
Oh, absolutely. I love the pick because that's actually my start as well. So I'm a shareholder of Neighbors. I'm looking forward to this matchup. Like, I love the kid. His hype is real. So I know his QB situation is not ideal right now. Someone named Danny Dimes used to be Danny Dimes is throwing him the rock. Now he's Danny Burn Yo Jersey. So all the fans are burning the jersey in the parking lot. That's not going to help, team. That's not going to help the fans. I mean, come on, give him a chance. But that's just me. It's his Neighbors' time to shine this week with this matchup. I mean, the Commanders' defense allowed the most fantasy points to the wide receiver position last week. And another super cheap DFS option. He is going on FanDuel for $6,400. Give me Neighbors this week all day. Him and Conner.
5,900 on DraftKings as well.
Great value for that matchup. Again, the Commanders, they allowed the most fantasy points to wide receiver last week.
Hey, you're hyping up FanDuel. I'm hyping up DraftKings.
Someone.
I don't think anybody in sports history has a partnership with both. Why not us? Why not us?
It's almost 2025, guys. Pop them both up there.
So, hey, that was a nice little quick episode there.
Yeah.
It's great to be back in the swing of things. Let's pop it up. Let's take a look at Badge's starts since we went over them so quick here. His starts for week 2, he has James Conner versus the Rams there. Justin Herbert versus the Panthers, and Malik Neighbors versus the Commanders. Very similar between the two here with me and Badge. Both have Herbert and Neighbors. The only switch up is Conner and Kyron Williams. And it's kind of I say it's almost 100% because we have the same game for our running backs. which I didn't notice until now.
Oh yeah, that is true.
So, hey, that's our starts, man, for week 2 here. We had I don't know if you went back and looked at it. We had a good week 1 there for our starts and sits combined.
I didn't. The only one I saw that I had was Godwin, who hit. Who else do we have?
Man, you're gonna make me go back and look real quick. I'm blanking. You had the Chargers receivers for sits, I believe.
Yep.
Stafford.
Stafford was my sit. He was kind of on the cusp. Goff was my start. Okay,
Yeah.
we did have a good. We did have a good.
I'm trying to remember
yours. So,
but
guys, if you guys want to know, just all of our episodes are on YouTube.
they're all saved.
Go back. They're saved. Go back. We got some credibility here. So.
Yeah, and the Money Badger was on yesterday, so that's already taken off there. So if you're a gambler, want to get into that as well. So, hey, appreciate you guys. Remember, hit that subscribe button. This is the best unkept secret on the tube, as Badge puts it.
Best kept secret.
Best kept secret. See, I already messed it up. Hit the notification bell. Hey, comment below who starts you like, which starts you don't like. We interact with everybody. So thanks, and on to the next one.